It's finally official. We don't have to keep guessing anymore. Trae Young has officially asked for a trade. This is one of the rare occasions where I'm actually off work and I'm able to make a video right away as the news breaks. So, I mean, let's talk about it. We've been speculating all season that Trae Young was going to get dealt, whether that be at the deadline, whether that be at the offseason. It's very clear to us that he's not working out on the Hawks. And it's very clear to a lot of fans that the Hawks just don't really need him on the team, that they would be better off with a different point guard. Now, I will preface anything I say in this video with I don't think Trae Young is a bad player. I like Trae Young. I think that he gets a lot of hate that is not deserved. Obviously, he has the flaws in his game. Every player does, and sometimes those flaws are very glaring. But I think that anywhere he goes will get an immediate upgrade. Now, along with the news that he was going to get traded, him and his agents are working on a trade, another little piece of news came out. It's now told to us that the Wizards are officially in on this Trae Young trade. They want Trae Young, so I think that's pretty interesting. If I was Atlanta, I would definitely want to do a trade with the Wizards. Me personally, I watched the Wizards play live twice this season, and don't let their record fool you. They are a young and fun team, and I think Trae Young on that team could do something. I don't know what that something is, but it would be nice to see him paired with Sar, and him paired with a few of their other young players. I do want to know what pieces they're willing to give up for Trae Young. That hasn't came out yet, but it will be interesting to see all that unfold. Now, I scoured the internet really fast and I found a few different trade ideas that I personally really like. This one is from Bleacher Report. The Atlanta Hawks get Jeremy Grant, Scoot Henderson, Blake Wesley, and a 2028 first-round pick. The Trailblazers obviously get Trae Young, Vanderbilt, and a 2032 second-round pick. And then the Lakers, who are in on this, get Matisse Thybulle. Now, Grant would be added onto the Hawks roster as a pretty decent complementary player. He's a good role player. He's nothing like he was in the past, but he still is a good NBA player. Scoot was a top prospect. I know that seems like a long time ago, and I know it seems crazy to think about now, but he still has the chance to mold into a really, really good player. Also, if you think about it, Portland does have Drew Holiday, so Drew Holiday can kind of patch the holes that Trae Young leaves in the defense. Now, why would the Lakers want to get in on this? It's very clearly just for a little bit of extra defense. Thybulle is a genuinely really good defender, and I think that with Luka Doncic, he can turn anyone into a good player, and Thybulle is one of them. Thybulle has shown us that he can be a decent offensive player, and when you pair him with somebody like Luka, I could see something good happening. I personally would make this trade if I was all three teams. I really like it for all sides. I think giving up Vanderbilt is something the Lakers don't want to do. I don't really know why. But I will say, with Trae Young, you are not getting cream of the crop stuff. Everyone knows that he wants out now, and he's on an expiring contract, and he's Trae Young. He's not that valuable, so temper your expectations a little bit. There is a Kings trade that I've been looking at for a little bit now, and every time I look at it, I like it a little bit more. In this trade, the Atlanta Hawks get Zach LaVine and Keon Ellis, and then the Kings get Trae Young and a top 10 protected 2029 first overall pick. Now, the Hawks are banking on being a good team in 2029, but even if you get a pick in 15, 20, that range, it's still going to be a good pick. I personally really like this trade. It does seem like they want a point guard for the future. Trae Young can be that, and the Hawks are getting back a pretty good haul. Zach LaVine is obviously an impact player right away. He will make this team better offensively immediately, and I know he's been really bad on defense so far this season, but if anyone can help him on defense, it is this Hawks team. I mean, you also get Keon Ellis with it, Ellis Island, you know. Again, I really like this trade. I like both so far. I would do it if I was both sides. I'm going to throw in a semi-unrealistic one because I do think that it's fun to talk about. This one is with the Hawks, the Timberwolves, and the Warriors. Now, do I think this is the most likely to happen? No. Can I see it happening? Yeah. In this one, the Hawks get Moody, Dillingham, and Rudy Gobert. The Timberwolves bring back a haul of stuff for Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle, who is traded in this. They get back Trae Young, Mo Guy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Kuminga, obviously. Pods, obviously. And then 2 first-round picks. The Warriors would then receive Julius Randle, which would be a big upgrade for this team at the power forward position, and then 2 second-round picks. Now, this trade is interesting. I honestly don't know who wins this trade the most. I do think that it's the Wolves. I mean, the Wolves get definitely worse offensively, but their offensive team, when you roll out a lineup of Ant, Trae Young, Kuminga, DiVincenzo, Daniels, this team is a good team. They might be giving up like 150 points a night, but they're probably scoring 170. Golden State gets another weapon, which they definitely need. I do want them to trade for a center, but it's not really on the market. And the Hawks, most importantly, get Rob Dillingham, who I still believe in Rob Dillingham. I think he can turn into something. And with the minutes he would get in Atlanta, I think that would really help shape his career in a different path. Rudy Gobert being added to this already great defensive team will obviously have impacts. I mean, this team will be scary defensively. The offense side of things will still be stagnant at times. I do think this one is pretty interesting. Now, real quick, let's talk about the Wizards. I mentioned them briefly previously, and I think that they would be a pretty interesting trade partner. Obviously, they want to get rid of CJ McCollum. You would have to include his contract in this trade because Trae makes so much. If the Wizards do trade for Trae Young, this is probably what they would give up. I'm guessing CJ McCollum, somebody like Cam Whitmore, and then Champagnie. I think Trae Young on the Wizards would be really impactful. Him and Sarr would genuinely be pretty fun to watch. And then Champagnie on this team would add shooting. Cam Whitmore is a pretty versatile player. I still believe he can turn into something. I've seen flashes so far this season. And then I mean McCollum as a veteran on this team who can play real minutes. I personally like this trade the most. And I do think it makes sense because I don't think that Trae Young has that much value. It's sad to say, but you should have traded him probably 2 years ago. I'm glad I was able to make this video for you guys right away as the news broke. A lot of the time I work during all of these announcements, so I'm glad it happened at, 6 p.m. on a Monday. Let me know if you guys have any destinations you have in mind for Trae Young. These are the few ones that I've saw that I liked, and I don't really think that there's any other teams that are willing to take a flyer on Trae Young right now, at least as a trade option. I do think that he will have some spark in the free agent conversations. But really, I just feel bad for Trae Young because it's really hard for a purely offensive player to get the love they deserve nowadays. I am making a video on the death of the one-way star, so be on the lookout for that. I don't know when it will come out. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.